Hi. Tonight I wanted to make just a short video on my final loading that I've chosen for these Zavero Boy Copy 10 gauge slugs, style slugs that I'd had the mold custom made for with the SP 10 watt attached to the bottom. First thing is with the oh, and excuse my voice. I've had caught the flu this week, and that's why I've been laid up. But I was looking around. I was actually over at Thorzak watching one of his videos, and he was using an old 12 gauge shotgun shell to do some of his assembly of some of his slugs and wads and things like that. And it made a little bell go off in my head that I had these 12 gauge, brass 12 gauge shotgun shells laying around, and I had a couple that were cracked from overpressure when I was doing some testing. So I thought, well, you know, that thing might work good for my assembly, because when I was assembling, I had this tube just like the other one, but I had a little slippage going on down inside when I was trying to tighten the screw. These cases actually are a little tapered inside, which makes this process a little easier because it actually grips that wad as you push it down in there, and as you put more pressure on it, you put pressure on it to get the screw started. You know, it grabs that screw and it gets going down in there, and it works out real well. As soon as the slug turns, then I know it's tight to the wad. I know I've drilled the primer hole out. I just take the screwdriver, I get it on out of there. Works pretty good. Yep, I like it. But anyway, that's enough for that. So I did some figuring on this, on which would be the best combination of wad, slug, powder, primer, everything like that to be the most economical. And no matter how I wrote it up or figured it out, as you can see, 40 cents, 39 cents, 39 cents, they all added up pretty much the same. That was with this combination here with the Galandi gas seal, which is this item here. I got those in. That's them right there. I got 1,000 of them, or 500 of them from Precision. That, the hard wad, half-inch, the 11 gauge nitro card, the slug and the wad. The load I chose was the load with the Federal 209A primer, the 37 grains, a long shot, in this setup right here. If you don't want to do that, you could still do this, but then that means you're cutting the petals off of 2 wads, taking that time to do that, risk cutting your finger with the razor knife, whatever. But you can do this. It costs the same. With these other wads added in this thing here, it's the same cost. I know it seems like a lot, 40 cents a round, but the last time I had bought the Federals, I paid $14.99 for a pack of 5 of them. So that makes them almost like, what, $2.99 each. Pretty simple math there. So for the price of the $14.99 to get 5 of them, I figure I can load 37.5 of them. So that's pretty good to make 37 of them for the price of a box of 5. So I'm still ahead. Oh, and if you might have saw in there, I do put a value in for the slug, even though I do cast it myself. It still takes electricity, and I just put 0.001 for the slug. But that's it. I'm going to load one. I already have some powder weighed out here to 37 grains of long shot. So let's get going with this. And I'll load one, and I'll try to get you over to the roll crimper. Primer in there. Throw our powder in there. Tap it on down. Take our Galandi gas seal. Stick that baby in there. Put that down on there. Now you gotta watch installing gas seals because they're tight. And sometimes if they flip around or you push them down in there too fast, it'll actually blow the powder up around and be on top of your gas seal. So if you go slow, I don't know if you can see in there or not. But anyway, if you go slow, there's no powder. No powder gets out up on the top of the gas seal. Drop in your 1/2-inch wad, your 11 gauge nitro card. Put your slug in there. Ready to roll. Let's go ahead over there and roll crimp this thing. There you have it. Roll crimp down onto the nice edge of the slug. Oh, what I put on there is just a touch of Vaseline on there. When you're roll crimping a lot of hull like that, it keeps the friction down on that. Does a good job. Nice roll crimp. And just because I got a few questions on this, I got a few minutes left. On the pin, someone had asked me how I made the pin. The pin is this. It's just rod, aluminum rod, 1/2-inch. You get at Home Depot, Lowe's, anywhere like that. You have to make sure your pin and your handle isn't too long. You want to make sure when you sit this down on the floor underneath your lee pot or whatever pot you have, that the top of your mold isn't too high and hits the nozzle. So you got to watch. You would think you'd make this handle big so you could use it, but you know, you want it a size so when it sits in your mold, it's the right size. Now all this is a washer, a fender washer with a U cut out of it. And I put a couple notches in the pin itself. Right here and there. So this slid on there like a U, and I just crimped it, pushed in on these two pieces with pliers, and it holds it on there. And that's about it. Thanks for watching the video.